What is going on, guys? It is Zexus, the YouTube superhero, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys 6 amazingly awesome jump spots that you can use in any game mode in Infinite Warfare, specifically Infection, and these spots are going to be awesome and they're going to help you live your rounds. So without further ado, let's get into this video. Okay, so real quick, I just want to point out that some of these spots in the video are actually going to be pretty difficult to get into, but they're so good, so I would recommend going into a private match first and practicing these jumps. That way you're good enough to, just go in online and do it on like your first or second try, because online you have limited time to do stuff. So these spots are pretty difficult, so I just want to point that out, just in case you guys are having a hard time with it. This did take me many tries to get into some of these spots, so without further delay, again, I'm sorry, I apologize for that. Let's start this off. So our first jump spot is on the map Skydock, and what you're going to want to do is just basically follow what I'm doing on screen. Go to the middle of the map, this center building, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to wall run above this doorway and boost jump up to those golden little like rectangular box things. And if you do this correctly, you'll be able to see what happens on my screen. You'll be able to get stuck on a ledge there, and in Infection you're almost invisible. I've only ever been found up there once in Infection. Most of the time I get away with it and it works perfectly fine. So yeah, so this is a really cool spot, and it's one of the easier ones on the list to get into. So yeah, that's our first spot. Let's move on to number 2. Okay, second on the list, there's actually going to be 2 jump spots on this map. The map is Precinct. Now, we're going to go over to the one side of the map where this wooden construction building's at, and you're going to want to jump up towards the corner of where I'm jumping towards on screen. And if you're hitting that corner, you're going to fall once you hit that corner, and you should fall on this ledge. Now again, this jump spot is one of the easier ones on the list, but it doesn't work every single time. Like, you're going to have to try and jump up there quite a few times in order to get it. But when you get in this spot, it is a really good spot. It's a great hiding spot because no one really ever looks up in Infection. They're normally just, running around at eye level. They never really look up. So this spot is really good. So let's move on to our second spot on Precinct. Okay, so now that we're at our next spot over on Precinct, you can see where we're at. I'm shooting around on screen. You're going to head over towards this little roadblock here, stand up on it, look up, and you're going to spam your jump button. Like, don't hold it in, keep tapping it, and jump up. If you keep doing this, eventually you're going to get caught on a barrier. And once you're up on this barrier, you have a perfect vantage point. This is one of the better spots on this list, but for reasons, because it is kind of difficult to get up into this spot. So that would be why this is a good spot, but you're gonna need to practice this one. So as you can see on screen, we're up here. Now I'll tell you guys this: once you're up here, do not move. If you move, you will fall, and you're gonna have to get right back up here again. So this is a really good spot in Infection. Let's move on to our next one. The next jump spot on my list is on the map Mayday. Now this one is probably the most difficult on this entire list, but for good reason, because this is a very good spot. If you get up here in Infection, you're sold. Like, no one is going to find you up here, and if they do, they're just a really good player. But basically what you have to do is you come to this back corner of the map, and once you're in this back corner of the map, you'll see that there's some pipes that you can look at and whatnot. But if you try and boost jump up there, it won't let you get up. So what you have to do is you have to be backwards. If you are facing the wall, your character will try and wall run, and it screws everything up. So you have to be backwards. Again, spam that A button to keep jumping, and once you think you've cleared the pipe, you have to move your controller back. Now this one is very, very difficult, like I said, because the ledge that you can get on is super small, and also you can't see what you're doing. You have to guess when to move backwards, because you have to be able to clear that pipe before getting on top of it, or else you're going to hit your head on it if you're trying to jump on top of it. So you have to jump backwards, spam that A button, keep tapping it, and eventually you'll get up here. Again, do not move once you're on this ledge, or else you will fall. But this spot is so good, but it's very difficult to get up here. So this spot is probably one of my favorite on this list, just because of how good it is, but it is very difficult. So let's move on to our next spot. Okay, our last 2 spots are both on the map Crusher. So I'll show you guys basically how to do this one. This one is actually very difficult too. I don't think it's as difficult as the last one, but this one is still pretty difficult. So what you're gonna do is, as you can see where I'm at the middle of the map. I'm coming over to the side towards B domination, and you can see that there's this little crate here. Jump up on this crate, look straight up at the sky. You have to use this thing that's running up the middle of the wall as your guide. Basically, you're gonna be able to get on top of this little column, or this whatever this is running up the middle of the wall. So you're just gonna keep looking straight up in the sky and keep boost jumping, spam that A button, get it up there, and once you think you've cleared that little ledge thing, move over like straight ahead towards the building. I know it sounds kind of confusing, and it is very confusing, and this spot is very hard to get into, but again, if you do manage to pull this off, you are almost unstoppable in infection, because no one's going to be able to find you up here. So again, I would recommend you practice this in a private match before going online, because it is very difficult to get into. Okay, so finally we have the last spot on our list. Now this is over toward A domination on this map. I believe this is also the map Crusher, same as last spot. You're gonna hop right on top of these crates here, and you're gonna wall run over here. And when you wall run, you jump off at the end, and there's gonna be a little ledge you can jump up on top of. Basically just, I know what I'm saying in this video is kind of confusing, but when you're watching what I'm doing, hopefully both of these combined will make more sense. I would recommend turning your sensitivity up a little bit for this, your look sensitivity that is, because it is a little difficult to turn around that quickly and jump up. I play on a very low sensitivity, so that's why it was a little bit more difficult for me, and I had to turn my sensitivity up to pull this off. But when you get in this spot, it is a very, very good spot. Well, this concludes the spots on our list for jump spots in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Now let's absolutely smash that like button, guys, for these awesome glitch spots in the game that you can use in almost any game mode. Well, you can use them in any game mode, but specifically Infection. You guys are going to be able to be unstoppable. You can pull off getting into these spots in Infection. So let's smash that like button. Let's go for 30 likes on this video. That'd be absolutely insane. Leave a comment down below what your favorite spot on this list was, and I promise you guys these spots do work as of January 2nd. That's when I've actually recorded all these clips. So even if you're having a hard time getting into these spots, it may just be that it's very difficult to get into the spot, like I previously mentioned, and not that it's patched. So leave a comment down below if you guys are able to get into these spots, and yeah, I hope to see you guys in a future video. As always, peace out.